Welcome to Real Bytes, a show where I take real news clips and assemble them to show you the truth about the issues of the day. Gas prices continue to rise on a daily basis, and the Obama administration appears to be concerned over the adverse effects on the U.S. citizens. Are his policies helping to lower these prices, or is the opposite true?
President Obama announced new curbs on offshore drilling.
Just a flashback to 2 years ago. These prices inching up and up.
Fuming mad.
It is the biggest price increase on record.
Gas prices continue to climb. They say these prices are just absolutely ridiculous.
What wouldn't do a thing to lower gas prices is to open up Florida's coastline to offshore drilling.
Almost $5. I mean, this is incredible.
And it is putting a drag on the erratic U.S. economic recovery.
If I thought that by drilling offshore we could solve our problem, I'd do it.
People are starting to feel the pain at the pump.
Price of gasoline goes up, the likelihood of any new hiring goes down.
Now the latest scheme is, well, we're going to drill offshore.
Gas is almost at $4 for a gallon of unleaded.
Higher and higher, close to the $5 mark in parts of the country.
But we could save all the oil that they're talking about getting off drilling if everybody was just inflating their tires.
Could we be headed for a new all-time record?
16 billion barrels in Alaska, 2 trillion barrels in shale in the Intermountain West, and 86 billion barrels in the Outer Continental Shelf, all off limits.
We've announced that no permits for drilling new wells will go forward.
When gas prices were rising during the Bush administration, the drive-by media were all criticizing him over the high prices on a nightly basis.
What do you say to people who are losing patience with gas prices at $3 a gallon?
What we are seeing is, a government run for the oil company.
Drivers are paying a heavy price for the Bush administration's failure to enact a comprehensive energy strategy. This Congress, under the Democratic leadership, is working to make up for years of inaction, taking America in a new direction that helps bring down the cost of gas.
Gas prices have more than doubled since George Bush became our president.
I understand how desperate folks are. I mean, I met a guy who couldn't go on a job search, had lost his job, couldn't go on a job search because of the high price of gas. Just couldn't fill up his tank. I met a teacher in South Dakota who loved her job as a teacher on an Indian reservation. She had to quit because the drive was too far. It was taking up too much of her paycheck. I know how bad people are hurting.
People were hurting due to high energy prices while Bush was in office, but the Obama-friendly media found a way to spin high gas prices in a good way for Obama.
You wouldn't think high gas and oil prices would be a blessing in disguise, but they are. As Victor Lopez found out, they're causing a big jump in the number of jobs.
We turn now to 5 things you should know about gas, specifically why gas prices, even at over $4 a gallon, can sometimes be a good thing.
And we know that rising gas prices are forcing us to search for alternative fuels and more fuel-efficient cars. There are some other reasons to be optimistic about the high cost of gas. Here are just a few of them.
2,220 people have already been saved over the past year because a reduction in driving has led to less particle pollution in the air. If gas prices stay at $4 a gallon for a year or more, then we can expect that about 1,000 people a month will not die.
Obama's true energy policy can be summed up in his own words and the words of his energy czar, Steven Chu. High energy prices to force the American people into the failed attempts of solar, wind, and not ready for prime time algae projects.
The problem is, can you get the American people to say this is really important and force their representatives to do the right thing? That requires mobilizing a citizenry. That requires them understanding what is at stake. And climate change is a great example. When I was asked earlier about the issue of coal, under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket. Even, regardless of what I say about whether coal is good or bad, because I'm capping greenhouse gases, coal-powered plants, natural gas, you name it, whatever the plants were, whatever the industry was, they would have to retrofit their operations. That will cost money. They will pass that money on to consumers.
Yesterday, the president's energy secretary was on the hot seat when Mississippi Republican Congressman Alan Nunnally asked if the Department of Energy is actively trying to lower fuel costs.
But is the overall goal to get our price?
No, the overall goal is to decrease our dependency on oil, to build and strengthen our economy, and to decrease our dependency on oil.
Chu first irritated Republicans when he told the Wall Street Journal in 2008, quote, somehow we have to figure out how to boost the price of gasoline to the levels in Europe. The argument being if Americans are forced to pay $8 or more per gallon, that would help wean the country off fossil fuels. That logic leaves Republicans scratching their heads.
When you are doubling, literally doubling the price per gallon of gasoline, how does that strengthen your economy?
After a White House lunch with the president, Speaker Boehner says he raised a familiar energy issue.
I did press the president on the Keystone Pipeline. The president said, well, you're going to get part of it. I just wish we were getting the part that would actually deliver the oil out of Canada and out of North Dakota.
By some estimates, the oil you recently discovered off the shores of Brazil could amount to twice the reserves we have in the United States. We want to work with you. We want to help with technology and support to develop these oil reserves safely. And when you're ready to start selling, we want to be one of your best customers.
Obama does not want to use any fossil fuels unless someone else produces and delivers it to our shores. We are now dependent on foreign governments to supply us with an energy source that actually works. Gas and oil are abundant, available, and efficient to use. The United States needs to rely on no one but ourselves to solve our energy problems. This is how we became, and will remain, the leader in the world.